Smurfy greetings YouTubers, it is I, Hellgear, and for this video I want to talk about the events that have happened throughout this game of Smurfs Bubble Shooter story. There are many events that have happened throughout the years of this game, and I want to talk about each one. A good while back, the Smurfs Bubble Story social media page asked its players which of the events was their favorite. The problem with that is they didn't show off all of the events that have happened throughout the course of this game. So in this video, I want to talk about each of these events, as well as give my little bit of Smurf tips on how events can be improved. So, as always, share your experiences of these events in the comment section below, and if you have any ways that the development team can improve upon the events aforementioned in this video, please not only say so in the comment section below, but let them know on their Smurfy social media pages, whether it be Twitter, Facebook, or even Instagram. And if you are new to the game and you're wondering what the Smurf I'm talking about, sit back and relax, I'll fill you in, and I'll try not to be too boring in the process. But first, gotta sip my tea. Now, as I stated before in the introduction of this, when this question was asked by the Smurfs Bubble Story development team, they didn't portray all of the events. Just this poster, which only shows off 3 of them. So, what are these events? On the left is the event known as Smurfettes Quest. It shows up occasionally, and you have 3 days to complete it. Unlike the other events that happen throughout the duration of this game's run, Smurfettes Quest is a little unique. For one, it doesn't pertain to the regular game stages like the other events do. When you access this event, it has its own unique bulletin and it goes to its own special map. In a nutshell, Clumsy knocks a dragonfly egg out of a nest, which rolls down a hill. It is your job as Smurfette to traverse 5 randomly placed stages and bring the dragonfly egg back to the nest. As I said, the stages are generated randomly. And while the stages have not too big of a challenge, I mean, they are challenging when you get into the later stages. The first one's pretty easy, but around stage 3 is when things start really kicking in on difficulty. Complete each stage and you'll move on as you go ever so closer to bringing the dragonfly egg home. What's interesting is when you fail to complete a stage, because it has the same caveat as Bejeweled Stars Corvus's challenge. To those of you who've played Bejeweled Stars, every now and again they'll have what's called the Corvus challenge, where you go to a special island and you complete various stages. And if you fail to complete a stage and choose not to continue, you must restart the challenge from the very first stage. And Smurfettes Quest works just the same. If you run out of moves and not complete the stage and choose not to continue, you must restart the challenge from level number 1. At first, new players attempting this challenge will get frustrated because all of their progress goes down the drain. But as they play through this challenge, they improve upon themselves and get better. So what happens when you do return the dragon egg home? Well, when you do, you get a nice little congratulations banner, and then a chest which has a good stack of chips, some boosters, and infinite hearts for 1 hour's time. And unfortunately, you don't get to choose when that 1 hour goes up. It's right after you click the box and get all your stuff, the 1 hour starts. This is my least favorite of these events, mainly because, one, the theme is repetitive. It's always traversed via stages with the point of restarting if you fail, and two, the rewards, in my opinion, are not worth all of the effort. Especially if you're spending money just to buy boosters to get through stages. Or burning through ads just to get through stages, because I know players who do that. If the rewards were a bit more interesting, maybe a new Smurf during one of these little events, then I feel like they would be a bit worth it. Now the one in the middle is the particular challenge that I'm very cloudy on. And when I say very cloudy, I'll just be real. I have no idea how this works. But a friend of mine who plays this game has told me the shorthand, and that's Hefty's Challenge. Now Hefty's Challenge is different from the other events, even more so than Smurfettes Quest, because you'll only get Hefty's Challenge when you completed all the stages of the game for your current update. So when there are no stages left and you're waiting for the next update to the game, you go through and undertake Hefty's Challenge. The process is simple. He has a particular stage and you have 3 attempts per day to clear it. I don't know if there are any prizes involved with that or nothing, because I haven't completed all the stages on the updates, and Smurfs Bubble Story updates usually once every month with new stages and new Smurfs to obtain. So in the event I ever participate and undergo Hefty's Challenge, I'll be able to inform you on how this works a lot better. So I apologize on the short end of that particular Smurf totem pole. Now the one on the right is the one that you will probably see the most, and that is King Brainy announcing what is called the Royal Rush. This event happens a lot, and every now and again you'll see it happen, usually every couple of days or so, but it does happen a lot. The premise is simple. For 24 hours, the event lasts, and each time you complete a stage, you start the next stage with a booster. So, you clear the first stage, you'll get a vertical clear. You clear the stage after that, you get a vertical clear and 3 extra shots. And every stage after that second one that you clear, you'll get a vertical clear, 3 extra shots, and a horizontal clear. This can help you get through stages quickly, even more so than my personal favorite of the challenges, and I'll talk about that a bit later. Royal Rush is actually good because it rewards the player with a head start, and sometimes that head start can be very, very crucial in clearing a difficult stage, especially now since we have hard stages. And to those of you who are new, we have 2 types of stages. We have regular stages where you'll see one of the members of Team Smurf, and then there's a hard stage where the outline is in red and it's Papa Smurf saying that you might want to use a booster to clear this stage. Getting the Royal Rush at full capacity for these boosters is great. However, you only keep this up so long as you don't lose. But as soon as you lose and not continue, your streak ends and you have to rebuild without your boosters. So you lose and you're on a 3 streak or a 10 streak or a 20 streak. When you retry, you won't have your boosters to start out. You'll start out at base level. But as soon as you win, you'll build up the gauge for your boosters and continue the process. If there's any way that I would improve upon this, how do you improve upon this stage? I guess my way of saying and improve on this is when the time starts. Usually In the western part of the world, this event likes to start at 5 p.m. So, if it starts a little bit earlier in your neck of the woods, fine. But where I live in the West, these events usually start at 5 p.m. and it's a 24-hour period. Now then, let's talk about the other 3 events that were not mentioned here. Royal Rush likes to jump between another event, and that event is known as the Levels Challenge. The Levels Challenge has its own special announcement that shows up on the main screen right under the Smurf berries. The premise is simple. You have 3 days to clear 15 stages, and if you don't clear 15 stages, that's it for the event, no big deal. However, if you do clear the 15 stages, you get a chest with some boosters and chips. Now, in the early version of the game, and this is something that was removed from the Levels Challenge, why they removed it, the development team never said. But in the beginning, the Levels Challenge had a caveat. If you ran out of time within the 3 days and you didn't complete the 15 stages, you could pay 1,000 coins to get 1 extra hour. That allowed you a bit of a buffer to complete the stages. I don't know how many players actually bought the extra hour at the end. I did not, mainly because I didn't have the chips at that version of the game because it was hard to stack up coin. But it gave you a bit of a cushion. Now, I will admit, the Levels Challenge is good because it reminds me of another challenge that happened in the game, but no longer happens in the game, and that is the Character Challenge. The Character Challenge works like the Levels Challenge, but instead of 15 stages, you had to clear 20 stages. And when you cleared the 20 stages, you were given an exclusive Smurf. In the beginning, this Character Challenge was the only way for players to obtain Smurf Willow. Smurf Willow can be obtained by normal means now. However, I like this particular challenge. Sure, you had to go 5 more levels than the regular Levels Challenge, 20 instead of 15, but instead of coins and boosters, you actually got a new Smurf added to the Smurf party of yours. And I'll be honest with you, we should have more events where the reward gives us a particular Smurf. And I would actually like to see this challenge come back, if not every so often. You know, on a seasonal basis, like once in the spring, once in the summer, once in the fall, once in the winter. The last challenge I want to talk about is my personal favorite. Remember how I mentioned that one of the rewards for clearing Smurfettes Quest is infinite hearts for 1 hour? Well, the game had, in its early stages, the Infinite Hearts Challenge. And it worked like this. You had infinite hearts for 1 day. Something that is now an in-app purchase. Excuse me as I sip my drink here. The Infinite Hearts Challenge was my favorite of the events because for 24 hours, you didn't have to worry about running out of hearts as you went through levels. Sure, you didn't get any boosters, unlike the Royal Rush's time period of 24 hours, but what was good about the Infinite Hearts Challenge is that you didn't have to be so crunched into using a booster to clear a stage. So you failed a particularly difficult stage. That's okay. You're not going to run out of hearts for 24 hours. This allows you to do 2 things. The first thing that it allows you to do, I will mention last. The second thing that this allowed you to do is to practice going through stages to show you, okay, I went this way the last time and failed. So let me go this way and see where it takes me. It allows you to retrace your mistakes of the stage that you failed and try a different route. Maybe perhaps if you fired this way, you would knock down more bubbles in a shot, or you could deal with that one hindrance easier. Now, the first thing that this did is, and this is one of the best things that I enjoy the most of the Infinite Hearts Challenge, is it betters the player's aim when firing bubbles. Again, you don't lose hearts for one whole day, but if anything else, even more than helping you retrace your mistakes on a stage, it helps you fire better. You get much better aim in doing so. Because remember, the whole premise of trial and error is live and well with the Infinite Hearts Challenge. But if you can figure out a pathway through bubble busting and bubble popping, it improves you, the player, and it ups your skill rate. And having much better skill in this game is a wonderful thing, especially when you get into the upper 2000s of the game, because there are a lot of levels in Smurf Bubbles, shall we? Did you get any new prizes out of this? No. Any boosters? No. Any exclusive Smurfs? No. You just went through you went through your stage, popping bubbles, bettering your skill, and you didn't really have a caveat to worry about when you failed a stage, except for if you use boosters or not. Now, some will argue that if you fail stages for Infinite Hearts, that you should get the boosters back, and I disagree with that, simply because when you use your boosters, that's it. Now, I've often argued that a refill for boosters should be 3 instead of 1. Apparently, the development team disagrees with me on that one, because that still hasn't changed to this very day. But we'll talk about boosters on another video. In any case, there were 6 different events throughout the duration of the game Smurfs Bubble Story, or Bubble Shooter Story as it's known in the App Store. Which one of them is your favorite? Which one is your least favorite? Which one, like in the case of the levels, the character challenge and Infinite Hearts Challenge, would you like to see return? Which would you like to see removed? Share all of these opinions in the comments section below. And if you have any other improvements, share those as well. Not just in the comment section below, but again, also on the Smurfs Bubble Story social media pages. They have one for Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, which I believe are all linked in the description below of this video. But in any case, thank you so much for hearing me out. If you enjoyed, hit the like button. But for now, I take my goose from the oven because I'm done. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.